Coach, thanks for joining us here today. I've been asking all these players over the year. I mean, you feel bad for these kids. They lose a year and a half of their hockey dreams, we see how tough it is. But then, we chat with you here today, and I think young coaches too are trying to climb the coaching ladder, and they missed out a year of developing their coaching skills and being involved. And just wanted to ask, how was the last year and a half for you in dealing with sort of that lost season from on ice perspective, anyway?
Sure. It's difficult for so many people in so many different ways, and sometimes we get a little bit too focused on missing out on our sports when there's a lot of pretty awful things going on around the world. But from a coaching perspective, we were fortunate enough that there was ice available during different times during COVID, so there was some room for development or some time for development for youth hockey and OHL players and professionals. So, for me personally, it was an opportunity to spend some more time with my family. I have a young family and daughter who just turned 15, and a son who turned 9, and they're probably tired of me now, sick of me now, and happy that I'm back to work and out the door every morning by 7 a.m. But it was an opportunity to spend a lot of family time. So it was a tough year, I believe, for everybody, and we probably don't know the true effects from a hockey development side for years to come, especially with our youth. But it's nice for everyone to be back to work and have the kids back on the ice.
When we look at the OHL teams this year, I like to be almost open-minded, non-judgmental this season on how a team performs on the ice, wins and losses. It just, and I think every team's got young players, a lot of young players, and you look at our D-core, I think you got a nice balance here anyway of some veteran defensemen and very young defensemen, and just maybe some of the challenges in having these guys ready to go in what's a very new OHL to them.
Sure. If you looked around the league, I bet you every team thinks they're in a development year or a rebuilding year, just because nobody knows really what they have or what the expectation is with the players that you have. And a team like ours, where we have 10, 11 players any given night, first-year players in the lineup, naturally your expectation would be that you're going to struggle with the wins and losses, and it hasn't been that way for us yet. And again, we really don't know the true effect of or when we regain the balance of what this league's supposed to be, a 19-year-old league to win, and having overages, which we just got our first overage player. But any night you have a team like ours, where we have a 16 and a 17-year-old defense pairing that play together, that can go in and play 16 to 18 minutes a game and play against other teams' top lines is pretty impressive. And that probably has nothing to do with COVID. Those are just two pretty elite young men that Bouch and Allen, that have the ability to go out there and play those big minutes for young men. So it's fun to watch, but it'll be fun to watch our team grow over the next few years. We've got a lot of good young players, passionate players that want to be hockey players, and so it'll be fun to watch our team here the next couple of years.
Chad, you played a lot of hockey, a lot of pro hockey as well. You played in this league. I'm sure you had a lot of coaches you liked, and I'm sure you had a lot of coaches you questioned their strategy on how to coach players. Just wanted to know sort of what you've tried to bring from what you've seen in your playing days to your coaching skills, and perhaps maybe what you feel like you have to bring to today's OHL hockey player.
Yeah, and it's a great question, and I've always wanted to be a coach. I played for 14 years, and if I could have retired younger and coached right away, I think I would have taken that opportunity. Obviously, a lot of great coaches, and you learn from some, and you learn good things and bad things, what to do and what not to do. And I always thought I'd be kind of a harder-nosed coach, and that's kind of what I grew up with. And I think as you get older and more mature and you learn, you become the opposite of that, or I became the opposite of that. And now it's the relationships that you have to build with your athletes and the trust that you need from your team to be successful. If you don't have trust and relationships with your players, it doesn't matter how smart you are, how smart you think you are, you won't be successful.
It's one thing I did. I was just reading up on your biography today, and I didn't realize you're involved with Guelph minor hockey. And maybe just talk a little bit about your role. And again, I can't imagine the challenges that a minor hockey system, especially here in Guelph, would have had over the last 18 months.
Sure. Yeah, I've been a resident here in Guelph for 12 years, and my wife's from here, so I've had the opportunity to be involved with minor hockey here for the last 5 years as their technical director for GMHA, and an opportunity to work with the youth and build a foundation. We've created an ADP program with U8 and U9 to build a foundation of skills and development to prepare them for the older ages. I work with all the coaches. We on ice webinars, seminars. We bring in mental performance coaches. Ashwin Patel actually works with us. We have 8 or 9 development team members, all ex-pro guys. Guelph actually, for whatever reason, has a lot of ex-pro hockey players here. and everybody wants to give back. So it's never perfect, but to have good people involved doing it for the right reasons and to try to help the youth and give back, then you're going to be successful in some capacity.
All right. Coach, thanks for your time today. Good luck the rest of the season. Off to a great start.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
You. Stay with us. We'll be back right after the break.